Hi, I know this is not the usual way of receiving an award, but then again, Andy Mose, my radio partner for almost 10 years, and this guy, Joe Martelle, never did anything the usual way on the air in the morning. If you listen, you know what I'm talking about. But you know, something doesn't feel right here. I don't know exactly what it is. I think it's a hat. Yeah, this makes me feel a lot better. I really wanted to be with you live in living color, well, a little bit of color anyway, and be there in person to see you, a lot of my old friends who I work with in radio, and new friends. But I got a couple of health issues we're dealing with, and the doctor said, nay, no flying for Joey right now. So that's why I'm talking to you like this. I want to thank Peter Brown, who took many emails from me over the past couple of months. Thank you, Peter. And the Massachusetts Association of Broadcasters. And the rest of the inductees. Some of you I know, like my longtime friend Glenn Ordway and Candy O'Terry, and some I only know from your own reputation. But it's well deserving for each and every one of you. Congratulations. And thanks again to the committee. I really appreciate this honor. And I know Andy is looking down and he's smiling too. Thank you. Andy Mose and I got together just before Christmas in December of 1982. A lot of people said, how did you guys get together? He was my traffic reporter, and that in itself was a heck of a story. When Andy found out he was going to have the AccuVan, and he had to do traffic, he parked the thing in his driveway, but before he did that, he asked the engineering department at RKO, I think it was either Phil Shea or David Crew, to get him the longest mic cord in the world. And he parked the van in the driveway and ran the microphone cord through his window in his kitchen to a table. And he would sit there and he would monitor Joe Green in the BZ flying machine, our competitor, and he would write down what Joe gave for traffic reports because Joe was right on. I mean, he was Mr. Traffic extraordinaire in Boston. So Andy would write that down, and then 5 minutes later, when he went on with me with the traffic report, he would say exactly what Joe gave. And that was Andy all the way. Anyway, the traffic reports became secondary to what I was talking about that morning on the show for a topic. Andy's lines were funny, bombastic, they were great. He always came up with a great line. So Tom Baker, the GM at the time, said, let's put these two guys together. And he went to the program director, Gary Berkowitz, and he said, Gary, bring Andy in the studio for a couple of weeks with Joey, and let's see what the chemistry's like. And I remember Gary said, are you crazy? Andy in the studio? He said, I have a hard enough time controlling Joe. I'll never be able to control Andy. And you know, it's like a loose cannon going off. And Tom said, just give it a shot. So Gary calls me and he says, Andy's going to be in the studio with you tomorrow morning. I know you're going on vacation in a couple of weeks. Let's humor Tom and put it together and see what happens. And he said, go on vacation. When you come back, we'll go back to normal. Andy will be back in traffic, and you will be doing the show solo. I said, okay. Andy was like the Dutch uncle who came to stay for Sunday dinner and ended up staying for 10 years. And we had a great righteous ride, fun time, lots of times. When we'd be in a news break, we'd look at each other, we'd be laughing over a bit we just did, and we'd say, I hope the audience is having as much fun as we did. Andy's role on the Joe and Andy family was to push the envelope right up to the edge of decency and good taste. My job was to keep him from falling over the edge. I did my best. Many times before we went on the air, about a bit that might be a little questionable, he would say, Joey, it's better to seek forgiveness than ask for permission. And we never asked management for permission before we did a bit after that. I'll never forget it. That was Andy's moniker, and he lived by it. And one of the things that people don't realize about Andy, yeah, he was funny. He was the wittiest guy I ever worked with. He took me places I never would have gone on my own on the radio. We had chemistry because we came from different backgrounds, and we put that together on the air. And I think it worked for us. In fact, I know it did. And I wasn't the same air talent when I left and when he left to go across town. We were successful, but we didn't have that magic chemistry that we had as Joe and Andy. And he was a good-hearted person. I have to add that. A lot of people don't realize when I was going through a tough time in my life, Andy would bring me a roast beef sandwich every morning and say, I'm worried about your eating, partner. eat this sandwich before we go on. He took really good care of me, and I tried to take care of him. Andy Mose and I had a lot of fun on the radio, and I leave you with this quick little reminder. Take time to have fun, because we all have an expiration date. Thank you.